here's how I went from this underpainting, which I had a lot of fun creating, and to a final version of Beyond Light, the image you saw in the first first part of this video. So underpaintings are a lot of fun, cannot lie. You don't really care where it's going, you're just applying paint and watching as yummy colors evolve. After an underpainting is good and dry, or maybe even a week I let it dry, or longer. On this particular one, I do a wash of white across the top. I'm thinking sky. I'm already thinking landscape as I'm creating this one. And then I go at it with, this is a new palette knife, new shape. It's quite nice. It's sort of pokey on the end and then flat in the middle. And I need to go in with the palette knife because the brush just didn't do it justice. Oh, good Lord. Nothing like a bit of drama to get started and to loosen up and free you up. So on with the black. Do not know where this is headed. Just felt it. And of course we have to, what we do to one side, we have to do the other. It's kind of like math class. So for balance, I swipe some black on the other side as well. And then spatula on some nice bright white, which is representing, oh, did you see that? Giant blob of white paint. My floor is covered with blobs of all colors. That white is going to kind of represent the sun, I guess. And then I decide to go in with some magenta. And at one corner it turns out charcoal gray, and on the other side here it's a little truer to its color from the tube. I'll say it again, I mix my paints right on the canvas. I usually go straight from the pot or tube. And here we are with some black and some scrapes and marks. What I'm doing intentionally is trying to marry that blob of black with the section of black across the horizontal line across the bottom, and continuing on with the theme of relating sections of black. And I do a couple of marks across, and of course I'm thinking bridge. I don't know why I do so many bridges in my pieces, but I know when I'm creating it, I'm thinking, oh, that's like a bridge. And then this is an interesting thing that I decided to do. I like this color. It's called Prussian red. I go figure. At any rate, I know the color and I know it works really well when I mix it in with that deep magenta. And so I always like to throw a little of that in this type of abstract. I think it's some interesting warmth. And then of course the black was not enough for drama. No. We've got to add neon green. Oh, good Lord. So I did it. I added it, and now I'm trying to scrape it off. Okay, never mind about that. Let's go on to another corner. Talking again about tying in parts of the art. This is going to pull in from, oh my gosh. I know orange goes well with the magenta and the green, and so I plop it on there. And, oh, okay, this is getting a bit ridiculous now. Liquitex very creatively calls this color light blue, which makes me laugh. It looks like it's a wonderful color. It looks kind of like what, periwinkle maybe? And then to soften it, what? I remember laying this white down and going, uh-oh, it didn't turn out like I was hoping it would. Now what to do? Well, what always saves the day? Water, of course. Spritz some of that on and mix that paint in, and ooh, my head flies back at that point because I remember going, oh dang, that's working good. Okay, let's just get down to business here. So scrapey scrape, and drippity drip drip, and blendy blend. Somebody did leave a comment and ask, what do I use to blend? That's water in that little spritzer, and But there's all kind of mediums out there, glazes and gloss mediums and satin mediums. You can mix that in with your acrylics and it makes them really nice and creamy. Pulling that back over and then try to figure out what to do with that blue. I love the color. This is what happens to me. I choose a color so pretty and I put it on the canvas and I go, okay, how can I make that work? Usually it doesn't work. So then I have to kind of step back for a while and figure it out. But today it seems to be going okay. Once that top section of washed white is dry, I can go in with this 1-inch flat brush and embolden it, make it kind of more pure. And what that does is it lets the eye have a place to rest amongst all this craziness. And otherwise there's a little too much going on, I think. So I'll carve out some areas after the painting is pretty much done. And then this is interesting. All of a sudden I moved to put white over on this edge, and I didn't know at the time why I did that. But now that I look at the painting, I see that it looks like there's a white band underneath those sections of black, and I'm really happy with that. It looks like it's just traveling right along the canvas. And then here again, Lord knows, I just had a feeling I needed to add a white square down there. And I think it's the same thing. I was feeling there was a little too much going on. And I wanted it to look like the canvas was exposed and the colors were laying on top. So in order to create that feeling, you have to kind of do the top and the bottom in white. I think that's what works for me anyway. And that's a finished painting. Now I'm preoccupied with painting the edges black. They already were a black because remember this was an underpainting originally, so I guess I had decided to paint the edges black at that time many moons ago, and then flip the canvas so that you can paint the other edges, the other two edges. You can mask off your painting when it's dry and paint the edges. I'm freestyling here. I kind of like when some of the little bit of the paint, of the black paint, peeks onto the front part of the canvas, so I didn't really want to mask it off. I wanted it to have a really organic feel. And so that, ladies and gentlemen, is a finished painting. Here I've positioned it correctly. I see still some of the white on top is not as deep as I would like, so I'll go in tomorrow and kind of clean that up. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hey, hit that like button.